Hello, friends. Today we're going to be taking a look at the book Penguins by Bobbie Kalman and talking about how we orient ourselves to the text. When we are reading informational text, we don't always just pick up a book and read it cover to cover. We need to get familiar with the book, so it's important to kind of pick up the book, take a picture walk through the book sometimes, flip through and skim, look for those informational text features that jump out. And a great place to start is at our table of contents. In your table of contents, you'll see lists of titles. It could be chapter titles, section titles, depending on the book, and page numbers. In this case, let's take a look at the different sections that are going to be in this book. What are penguins? Many penguins. The penguin family tree. A penguin's body. Penguin homes. Hunters and hunted. In the water. Moving on land. Staying warm. Keeping cool. Rookeries. Mating. Baby penguins. Growing up. Penguin facts. Words to know and index. And what is in the picture. Many times we'll find an introduction towards the beginning of the book. It might be called an introduction, or in this case, I'm thinking what are penguins will be our introduction. What are penguins? Penguins may not look like other birds, but they are birds. Like all birds, penguins are covered with feathers. They are warm-blooded, which means their body stays the same temperature no matter how warm or cold their surroundings are. All birds, including penguins, hatch from eggs. And if I notice here too, I've got a bold print word here too. And if I go back, I do know there's a words to know and index. So I might be able to flip there and it'll define that bold print word for me. And I also have an informational text feature. I've got 2 images and a heading. Let's see if we can learn a little bit more about penguins today. Many penguins. Penguins have different shapes and colors. Some penguins have only black and white feathers. Others, such as the emperor penguin on the left, have brightly colored patches of feathers. Special head markings help penguins recognize other members of their species. So penguins, there's not just one kind. There's a lot of different kinds of penguins. Think about dogs. I bet if we asked everyone in our class who has a dog, we'd get a lot of different answers, but they would still all be dogs. Some penguins, such as this rockhopper, have long crests of feathers on top of their head. Some crests are yellow and others are orange. Penguins also differ in size. The largest is the emperor penguin, which is about 120 centimeters, or about 4 feet tall. The smallest is the little blue penguin. It is the size of a duck. And again, we see a heading here, some images, and then down below our images, we also have some captions. The most common penguins, Adelies, are only black and white. And I think many times that's kind of what we see, especially in drawings and things, penguins that look like that. Yellow-eyed penguins are the only penguins with a golden crown. Magellan penguins have black and white stripes on their chest, and little blue penguins have feathers that look more blue than black. Let's take a look at a penguin's body. So if I go back to my table of contents, what are penguins and many penguins gave me a general understanding. And let's dive a little deeper and find out what's going on with a penguin's body. So we can see this is a great example here on the left-hand side of a diagram. We have a nice picture of a penguin and then little pop-out boxes that give me more information. And you'll notice on the right-hand side, there's a lot of bold-faced words that I could look up in the glossary. Penguins have a very poor sense of smell. We can see that's kind of put up by their face because that's where your nose would be. Scientists think that penguins can see better underwater than they can on land. A penguin's smooth, streamlined body helps it travel quickly through the water. Most birds have hollow bones to help them fly, but a penguin has solid bones that allow it to dive into water. A penguin uses its razor-sharp beak to fight off enemies. A penguin has fleshy spikes on its tongue and inside its mouth to help it hold onto its slippery food. I guess that makes sense because a fish would be pretty slippery. Millions of years ago, a penguin's flippers were wings, but now they are shaped like paddles for swimming. And during this unit, we're also going to be learning a bit about how those animals change and adapt, and those survival changes occur. A penguin has a preen gland near its tail. The preen gland makes the oil that the penguin uses to waterproof its feathers. After each swim, the penguin preens. It uses its beak to arrange its feathers and spread oil through them. A penguin's feathers are short and stiff. Once a year, old feathers fall out as the new ones grow. This change is called molting. It takes several weeks for a penguin to molt. Go back to our table of contents and our idea about orienting to the text. I've learned a little bit about what are penguins. Many penguins told me about the different types of penguin, and I've learned a little bit about a penguin's body. As we move forward in this unit, I hope you use the idea of orienting to the text, looking at your table of contents and flipping through the book, reading the introduction or some basic information to help you in your own animal research, and we'll be coming back to learn more about penguins together as well.